out here and just go live. Let's see. Wait, is it? There we go. So we'll see who shows up, wants to chit chat. I need to eat. I need to get something to some sort of beverage. I mean, wait, this thing's not following me. Come on, buddy. Get with the program. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. We're gonna. And we'll have a little Pepsi. In my Hello Kitty cup. Little Hello Kitty Pepsi. You know what? I haven't taken my vitamin today. I need to take my vitamin. Don't look at my messy bed. All right, got us take our vitamin. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see what's going on over here. Let's see what's going on outside. A little overcast, but got a basketball game going on over there. Can I zoom in? Ooh. Wait a minute. Let's zoom in. Why are you doing that? My gimbal's being weird. How can I zoom in? I guess I can't. I don't know. We got a basketball game going on over there. Got some people walking around, doing some stuff. And then, hold on, switch this back around. And then I'm talking to you guys. That's what we got going on right now. Just hanging out, waiting for my friends to show up, talk to me. Let's see, we need to get this chat up a little bit here. I guess Hey, Lenora Rubia says, "Hey, bro." Nico says hi. Hi, Nico. What are you guys up to tonight? Where y'all from? I'm just let's see. I need to hit the like. If you guys could just hit the like for me, let's get some more people in here chit chatting. Where at in the Philippines, Lenora? Lenora says she's from the Philippines. I'm in Tagaytay, and I just went over to the window. I'll go back over here again, but this is looking out from my condo. Got some. Hey, what happened? Got like a basketball game going on over there. I don't see anybody in the pool. Well, there's some people over there sitting by the pool, but they're not in the pool. But that's what it's looking like in Tagaytay right now. And why is my phone ringing? All right. Nico is also from the Philippines. Where in the Philippines are you from, Nico? I mean, Let's see. Where are y'all from in the Philippines? Okay, Nico is from, I'm assuming that's Luzon. Renato says hi. Hey, Renato. What part of Luzon? I mean, I'm on Luzon in Tagaytay in Cavite. Uh, Lenora said me. Pros, Prosperidad, Pros, Prosperidad, Prosperidad. Am I saying that right, Lenora? Lenora is from Prosperidad. And if, like, honestly, if you guys could hit the like, maybe subscribe, that'll help me out. But yeah, let's get Prosperidad. Okay, I did a good job. That's awesome. But I'm got my Hello Kitty cup because if you're gonna drink sugary soft drink, then you shouldn't even pretend like you're an adult. so so I drink it out of my Hello Kitty cup. What do we got? Lenora is liking sub. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lenora. And what have you been doing today? It's starting to get busy here in Tagaytay. It's getting to be the weekend, end of the month. I've seen a lot more people in town. People coming in, for the weekend, get away from crazy weather in Manila and just enjoy it up here. The weather's always so nice up here. Nico, me too. I appreciate you, Nico. Uh, I look forward to seeing you guys around whenever I do a live stream. Like I'm still it seems like forever before I get my next like regular video out, but I'll get there. You know, stay patient. Until then, I'll get to talk to y'all. My favorite land is Korea. Okay, so you'd like to live in Korea, work in Korea? What is it about Korea that you like? You like K-pop, uh, the you know their culture, or you like the way Korean men look? Like, what is it about Korea, Lenora, that makes it your favorite? What is? Hold on. Nico. Okay. Send me some kind of emoji. But yeah, I'm Lenora. I like K-pop, Demon Hunter movie in Korea. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm familiar with the Demon Hunter movie. Uh, I'll have to. I'll have to look it up. Check out. And I know hardly anything about K-pop. I mean, just like everybody else, I know Blackpink, and I think that's it. Ah, Naomi. Hey, Naomi. Lenora asked, "Did you watch that movie, Demon Hunter?" No, I don't think I've seen that movie. Is it on? Netflix, or where would I find that movie, Lenora? Yeah, I've been went to, went for a walk earlier, but it wasn't very healthy because because I actually walked to McDonald's, so McDo, yeah. So that wasn't the most healthy exercise whenever I'm just walking to you know go get go get fast food. And I didn't bring all my fast food back because let's say I like to get like the little chicken sandwiches, um, and I bring them back, and then if I want a snack, I'll heat one up. So I I got like a Big Mac and fries and a Coke, and then four little chicken sandwiches. But before I had a chance to get home, I had two little kids, run up to me, and so they each got a chicken sandwich. So now I only have two chicken sandwiches left because I gave two of my chicken sandwiches away to, some little kids because I can't resist, the the little the little ones, they melt my heart. Nico said me too. Lenora said, watch that movie because that movie is so cool. Naomi said, you should walk to my place. Would have been more healthy. Naomi, you're in India, and I don't. I imagine I'd probably be dead by the time I walked all the way to India. Uh, but you know, I enjoy you know having you in the chat and you know doing what you do because it always amuses me. Nico throwing up the Philippines flag. I see you, Nico. Yeah, I don't have. Let's see. Let me find. I don't. Let's say I don't have the Philippines flag, but I've got like a Filipino sun with the stars around on my leg. Uh, so I'm definitely making the Philippines part of who I am. I a lot of people talk about oh they love the Philippines, and they're here in the Philippines for good. Well, I make a commitment. Like I say, that something's important to me. Like I'll put it on my body forever. Like so, the Philippines are with me forever. Naomi said, "Cool tattoo, Pete. Lucky to join so early to see that." All right, all right, Naomi. Uh, Lenora, did you go in Philippines? Did you go in Philippines? Yeah, Lenora. I thought you were here when I said earlier. I'm in Tagaytay. Uh, on Luzon, Cavite, Tagaytay, the city. So yeah, I live in the Philippines, and I'm not going back. This is where I live. This is my home. Is the Philippines. So, uh, Nico says nice. And Nico, I think you told me you're from Luzon, and then Lenora is from someplace I can't pronounce. Well, I think I pronounced it, but I forgot. Cool enough. Forgot where it was. Prosperidad. Where is Prosperidad? I have to look it up. Unless you want to tell me where Prosperidad is, because I may visit there one day. I have no idea. I'm at a time in my life where I'm not planning anything. I just whatever feels right uh, for me to do, that's what I'm going to do. So do. Nico throwing up more emojis. What you drinking? Take a sip, please, Hottie. I am drinking. I said earlier, I'm drinking Pepsi out of my Hello Kitty cup. Hold on, let me stop this thing from turning. Yeah, this is my Hello Kitty cup. That's what I was saying earlier. If you're gonna drink like a sweet soft drink as an adult, you might as well drink it out of a Hello Kitty cup, because it's it's not. Lenore, I'm gonna go Manila. Wait, I'm back. Wait a minute. You're back. You're back from Manila? Well, welcome back. I'm gonna go to. I'm going Manila. Wait, I'm back. Okay. I don't know what you're doing, Lenore, but like, is Prosperidad outside Manila or in Manila, or I guess I'm not familiar with that. Um, but whatever it is, I hope wherever you're at that you're happy, and you're having fun with friends, family. Like, that's what life is all about. Is like enjoying the people around you. Um, if and if you have a problem with maybe a close friend or a family member, maybe you're not speaking right now, you had an argument, then make it right. Like, you always have to, like, don't let things get between the people that you care about and yourself. Like, always make that effort. Like, even if it has to always be you, um, you'll never regret, keeping close relationships with your friends and family. So, Naomi, that was a nice long sip. I see why the girls chose you, including me. Chase you, including me. Haha. I don't understand what's attractive about taking a sip. But like I said, whatever makes you happy, Naomi. Uh, Naomi again says I'm back. Where'd you go, Naomi? You just keep taking off on me. So, or not Naomi, Lenora. I don't know why I said Naomi. Naomi. Um, there's always here supporting me. I only got 4 people in the live chat. I don't know what. See, I can't ever tell on here, like, how many likes there are. So, oh, you went to buy something. Okay. Was it a Pepsi? Oh. But yeah, it's been a pretty laid back day. I haven't really done much today. I need to I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, I believe. Yeah, I need to order some more water. I'm out of water. No, I'll have some more water delivered tomorrow. You got 6 people, 4 likes, 1 from me, sweetie. Thanks, Naomi. Yeah, that's awesome. You guys hit the like button, but get them hearts bursting up on the screen. Uh, so I don't know, what should I talk about today. You guys ask me a question, or give me something that I can talk about. I can't talk about Demon Hunter because I never saw it. Don't know much about K-pop. I can't really talk about that. I don't know if Naomi, I don't know if you told me what are you studying at university. I don't know if you ever told me that. Ain't you a little cutie drinking out of a Hello Kitty cup? Guess we got matching ones now since I got the pink one. Okay. Lenora says bye. See you later, Lenora. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, Naomi. Cool. But so, what are you studying in university? You said you were yesterday. You were coming home from university. So, what are you studying? Yeah, this is I'm not talking much. I guess I need to just start doing stuff. I'll catch up with the comments later. Actually, I think I'll make some coffee. I think I need to straighten up this. But this bed is a mess. Oh no, I can't make coffee because I don't think I have any. Wait, what happened to my thing? Why are you looking over here? You're supposed to be following me. There we go. Yeah, that water. I needed to go get water today. That's what I should have done. I think it's too late now to. Wait, what is this? What is in this? This water? I think this is water. Yeah, I'll go put this in my coffee maker. Get some coffee going. Yeah, we're gonna make coffee. Nope, it says I still need more water. All right, gotta get some more water. I think it'd be all right to use some of this water. It's got a filter on it. And we'll get some coffee going, and hopefully you guys can come up with some comments or questions so that I can respond to what's going on. All right. Okay. Naomi said, "Oh yeah, right. I'm in legal studies, first year of university." That's awesome, Naomi. You want to be a lawyer or something else to do with legal studies? Shy little robot, not blaming him. I'd be flustered to turn if I was around you as well. Haha. Nico says he's back. Nico, have you met Naomi? Nico, say hi to Naomi. She's in university studying legal studies in India. So make yourself acquainted. I'm gonna go check on this coffee. I need to. Let's see. Do I have sugar? That might be a problem. No, I got some sugar. All right. Oh, brown sugar. You make my coffee taste good. All right. Oh, that smells good. That's some good smelling coffee. A little creamer in there. Get a spoon. Sugar. And more sugar. Stirring my coffee. Strumming my pain with his finger. All right. You always get a. Oh, come back over here. What are you doing? Come over here. Nico said hi. He's saying hi to. Martin says, "Damn, Ray, this is like an every night thing. This doesn't mean we're going to take long showers together to the wee hours of the morning." I hear you, Martin. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's normally around this time. I've pretty much got everything I wanted to get done, and I'm just sitting here. It's like, don't want to watch TV or I watched I forget what show I watched. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy again for I don't know how many times I've seen the movie, but I watched it again, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go talk for a little while, see, anybody feels like talking. If nobody felt like talking, then I would have found something else to do. Naomi said, "Wouldn't look for sugar if I were you, and the sweetest things on the screen, drinking coffee." Well, yeah, I got to keep my sweetness level up, Naomi. Gotta, I that's why I have to have some sugar in, my coffee because I don't need anything to make me bitter. Ah. Eyes. Nico says, "Bye, Ray." Hey, thanks for stopping by, Nico. Isa, what are you laughing at? Isa laughing at me. Aware flirting here. I am not flirting, Isa. Not even a little bit. The people, I can't help it if people flirt with me. I can't help that. I'm completely innocent. You don't see the halo? Innocent. I'm an angel. But just because someone's please like and subscribe, guys, for the host. Thank you, Isa. Yeah, I mean, just because you know, just because people come in here and like, even if it's a girl saying, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's nice things like, oh, this girl thinks I'm cute and hot and all this other stuff. What am I gonna do? Get mad about that? Like, no, it's flattering. I appreciate it, and like I said before, like, uh, me and Naomi have an understanding. Like, she knows that, you know, there's nothing we're never gonna be in any kind of relationship. She just has fun, saying stuff, making me blush, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I don't get worked up about too much of anything. Naomi calls me a flirtatious little angel. I am not flirtatious. See, that's the thing, Naomi. See, you think I'm flirting like every time I take off my glasses or take a sip out of my cup or something. Everything I do, you think is meant to be flirting with you. But I'm just drinking my coffee. I just said, ha ha, I know, Ray, you afraid to the flirting woman. Good. Yeah, no, I mean, uh, people, people might take it as me flirting, but uh, I'm going to be nice to everybody. I'm going to be, you know, uh, uh, try and brighten their day, make them smile. That's the type of person I am. It doesn't matter who it is. And if someone's flirting with me and I'm being nice to them, that's not necessarily flirting. It's just how I am. I'm just, a nice person that, you know, uh, is enjoys people, enjoys talking to people. Anyway, Alice says, "Hey," with two Y's. Now, see, Alice, you came in here with them two Y hey yesterday. You were like my very first comment, Alice, and I was all getting ready to, you know, talk to you, see what you had going on in your life, Alice. Like, where you from? What do you like doing? And then you just disappeared. Alice just took off, just gave me a double Y hey and left. Anyway, Alice says it's me again. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about you, Alice. I just said, how's WH? WH. WH. White White horse? I don't know. What is WH? How's WH? You gotta tell me, you gotta give me a clue what WH is. Naomi said, correction to the statement, nice, sexy person. Well, thank you, Naomi. I always try to be nice. I just said, I already done your playlist. Appreciate it, Isa. Alice, sorry my internet was bad. It's okay, Alice. I'm just joking around with you and uh, trying to make it like it was a big deal that you disappeared, but like I'm just making jokes. As I said, if you do live stream, you need to add to your playlist. I'll do it. Isa, I'll add the one from last night and tonight to my playlist. No, I understand. Oh, watch hours. How's my watch hours? I well, like the watch hours are like 5 days behind. So it hasn't updated. I'm still at like 1,500 or something like that, I think. Martin said, "Do you find retirement boring at all? That's really my fear about throwing in the towel." That is an awesome question, Martin. It can be, uh, and there are times that you're gonna have to. What maybe you won't have to. I know for me, like there's times I just have to like live in the boredom. Uh, because it would be awesome if like you know I had the time, energy, and money to just constantly travel, see places, whatever, like just constantly on the go. But I don't have money for that. Uh, I got the time for that, but I don't have the energy for that. Like, I would get worn out like pretty quick if it was constantly go, 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 go. So, there are a lot of days when I'm just, hanging out, watching TV, you know, uh, looking on my phone. Of course, I feel it's good to have a hobby. Like, I can, do stuff with YouTube as, to entertain myself as well. But it's definitely a balance as far as, being retired and like keeping keeping your mind occupied on something, uh, that's not work. And, it if you have something that you're passionate about, or even just, you're interested about something that maybe you always wanted to learn, or then you'll have the time. So, um, so I don't think you'll necessarily be bored, Martin. You just, you come and you find something that you're interested in, and invest time into whatever that thing is until it doesn't interest you anymore, and then find something else. Like, uh, I, I hope that was a good enough answer. Like I said, you know, I am both, at times bored and not bored, because sometimes, it's it's uh, it's needed. Like sometimes you just need to be bored. It just reduces stress. Just nothing going on. Don't have any thoughts that are, keeping me awake at night. Just relaxed. And you definitely need to have that in your life. Uh, let's see. Isa said, Cherry, come to your live stream. That is my real sister in Iloilo. Okay. Okay. So it's like Simply Cherry. Simply Cherry is your sister. I think that's her name. All right. That's good to know, Isa. I like learning new things about people. Naomi say, don't think he's ever retiring from being hot. Thank you, Naomi. Martin says, being able to just relax and be is going to be hard for me. We'll be 60 this year, so I got to figure this out. Uh, Alice asks if the weather is hot here. I'll answer that first. No, not at all. Like, what is the weather right now? Let's see. Hold on. What is the weather right now? Is it 72? Yeah, it's 72 degrees. I don't know what that is, and that's Fahrenheit. Oh no, it says 78. It doesn't feel like 78. Um, but it should be cooling off pretty quick. Like it feels nice and cool, like the from up here, the breeze. But back to Martin. Yeah, I mean, uh, you'll have to. I always recommend to someone, like when they're first retiring over here. Uh, my recommendation would always be uh, to settle in what they call like an expat bubble, and it's kind of uh, you know like a stepping stone to getting used to the Philippines, and maybe the culture shock won't be as severe, and there'll be a lot more uh, foreigners around that you can interact with, that's went through the same transition, whether it's um, you know cultural, or if it's just boredom. Like, what do you guys do, to stay from being bored, and meet when once you meet people, and you know find people you click with, then it'll all work out, Martin. Like, I think that's the most important thing. Like, cover your ears, girls, but like that's more important than finding a girlfriend over here. Like, you want to find your group of friends that are going can relate to you uh, as you experience the Philippines. Like that's the most important. Like figuring out who you are in the Philippines, what you like to do other than have a girlfriend. I mean, most guys come over here and that's the whole picture. It's like, okay, I'm going to go to the Philippines and I'm going to have a girlfriend. And then they don't think anything more beyond that. I'll figure it out from there. And I think that's the wrong approach. Anyway, the weather sure is hot when he's around. I hear you, Naomi. Rhoda watching from Cavite. Well, I'm talking to you from Cavite. You know that. I'm in Tagaytay. What part of Cavite are you from, Rhoda? Are you like Laguna or uh, like down towards Batangas? What is that? I'm trying to think of the cities that way. But anyway, where at in Cavite are you? Alice, where do you originally come from? Alice, I originally come from Louisiana. That's that symbol, the fleur de lis. It's a French symbol, but the French, settled Louisiana. Like the U.S. bought Louisiana from the French, so there's a lot of French influence in Louisiana. But yeah, I'm from Louisiana, uh, and I grew up like all over the place. All over the U.S. and a couple different places in the world. Like I've been around, been doing stuff. And I'm caught up on the chat. Salang. Okay. Okay, so in between here and Desmarinas, whenever I go, I'm pretty sure that's right. Like whenever I go from Tagaytay, I go to Dasmariñas. Whenever I do my visa extension, like they have an office there in the big mall in Dasma, and of course, you go through Salang before you go get to Dasmariñas. All right, so Martin says, I have a place in Pasay already. Not really concerned about culture shock. Been married to a Filipino for 20 years. So if I have a girlfriend, I'll wake up floating in Manila Bay for sure. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, you got that bar covered. But I mean, you know, what do you do now to keep from being bored? I mean, you know, you don't work all the time. So the only time that you're really having to replace is the time that you're at work. And so like right now, today, you think to yourself, and I know you've said this either out loud or to yourself a million times, is you know uh, if I had more time, I would do whatever it is. Well, once you have the time, then those excuses about not having time to do certain things goes away. And and like I said, you might not like some of those things that you wished you had more time for, but you've got the time to try something else. If that doesn't work, try another thing, and eventually you're gonna figure out you know what grabs your attention, and what excites you, what you know and so yeah, I mean, Martin, you're basically you're going to live the same life you live now. You're just going to have more time to live it and be able to experience new things that you didn't have time to experience before because you were working. So to me, that's how I view like quitting work is, like there, I believe there's very few people that actually love their job. Like nobody loves their job. It's something they do to be able to afford to live the rest, to afford the other parts of their life that they do like. So anyway, I'm rambling. That, that's not new for me. Naomi said, history of the Louisiana Territory purchase. Absolutely. Yeah. Uh, yeah, we stole Louisiana, got it for cheap. It's worth way more than what we bought it for. Rhoda says, yes, you're right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you're saying I'm right about going through Salang to get to Das Marinas. Yeah, I thought that's how it was. Martin said, just work really hard. Yeah, no, and um, there's nothing wrong with hard work, but it there's times that you just need to relax. I know you think relaxing is going to be boring, uh, but you've been conditioned to uh, to live your life under stress, under deadlines and work pressures or whatever pressures. Like we're conditioned to function under a certain level of stress. And, yeah, it may take a little adjustment once that stress goes away. And, I know you're going to think, what am I going to do with myself now? Well, what you do with yourself is start allowing yourself to become reconditioned to living life without that stress. And it'll completely change your perspective and outlook. So, like, don't fear retirement from boredom. Like, retirement, is going to change you, but it's a good change. Let's see. Naomi said, just you talking is somehow like really hot. Lean back on the couch for a second, please. All right, no, I'll be leaning back in a second. Let me catch up on these comments. Naomi thinks that this is like her OnlyFans page or something, that I'm just gonna just do stuff. Let's see. Martin said, listening to a lot about the psychology of retirement and letting go. Well, that's weird. Like I was just talking about that. Kind of. I think, Martin, it's like you got to let go of that those old stresses. Like you're conditioned to be under stress. Nomad Cipher. That's Chris, right? Chris said, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chris. Trip of this little boy fishing. Hello, sir. Philippines watching. Hey, triplets. Do you have a name? Uh, I'm also in the Philippines. What part of the Philippines you from? Talk to me. Tell me something about yourself. Rhoda says, work smarter. That's what they say. Oh, yeah. But I'm trying not to work. I'm trying to work as little as possible. Like, work is a bad word to me. Like, if I'm doing something, it may be, physically involved, like, but if I'm doing it, it's because I'm enjoying it. So it's not work. Like, to me, work is, you know, something that you have to do. And anyway, I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything that I don't have to do. Naomi said, relaxing with you sure ain't going to be boring. We should test that out sometime. Naomi, stop it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have something close to an OF, except it's just on Reddit. Wow. What it, if that's something you enjoyed, Naomi, then that's cool. I just I just I don't know. I just like hanging out and talking to people. You know, if, I normally stay on these live streams probably longer than anybody really cares that I'm on here. But one time, oh, a new subscriber, triplets, triplets just subscribed. Thanks, brother. Um, but yeah, just hanging out with people uh, and learning more about them like that. That's enjoyable to me. Martin was asking, what is he going to do with his retirement? It depends on how you're built, I guess, because like the way I'm built, like retirement just gives me a chance to connect to more people, and you know, uh, and that's enjoyable to me. That makes my life fun. I mean, um, there's other people that they like watching the news and I've never liked watching the news because everything you see on the news, you can't do anything about it. Like it's going to happen whether you watch it or not. And for the most part, uh, it doesn't directly affect your life. But now news about a person that I meet, that's completely different. Like, you can be personally invested. It's like, oh yeah, I know how that is, and you have a discussion about things that are actually affecting your life, their life. Uh, it's personal. Like the world news and all that. Like you know, it's not personal to me. Like I feel bad when I hear someone that's affected by a natural disaster or something like that on the news. But I would much rather have that time spent finding about people around me that's, been affected and, if they're okay and, uh, you know, being more personally involved in people's lives. Sometimes there's nothing you can really do to help other than, be there to listen and, give support and encouragement. But to me, that's a better use of your time than, watching stories about people you're never going to meet. And I went on a little rant there. Let's see. Big like and subscribe to your channel. Thanks. Like I said, triplets. Thanks. And what's your name, triplets? Doug said, you have a local coffee shop or some place you like to go hang out. Not really. Um, I probably should. Like, there's a little coffee shop that's just downstairs, like right outside my condo, and I could go there and sit and hang out. But I've never really been the type. At first, well, till I came to the Philippines, I really didn't drink coffee. Like, it just, I don't know, it just wasn't something that I did, and I've gotten where I'm starting to enjoy coffee more, and so that might progress into actually going to a coffee shop. I have been like there's an expat group here in Tagaytay that meets at the Starbucks at Ayala Mall on Tuesdays, and I've went to that a few times. Just to see the guys and you know do Marites over coffee, but Isa still saying like and subscribe. Thank you, Isa. Janet is here. Triplets, double tap the screen, everyone. Thank you, triplets. I said, I'm cooking dinner, sir, Ray, but still in the background for watch hours. I appreciate you. And then Isa said hi to Mama Janet. But man, I appreciate y'all. And, you know, like I said, any of y'all that's in here that hasn't that has a channel, you know, make sure to let me know so I can subscribe. And you know, I've said it many times, like I believe in I believe that people should give their time to people that give time to them. It's, you know, it's always a mutual thing. um, you know, uh, you guys spend time with me, and uh, you know, I'll definitely spend time, you know, supporting whatever it is that you want to do. uh, and let me catch up here. Janet says, how you feeling? Are you asking me, Janet? I feel like tons better. I think yesterday, you know, whatever little bit of sickness I had left is, you know, I woke up today, you know, I could breathe normally. Like yesterday morning, I woke up and, you know, my throat was sore and I was still kind of a little bit congested in like my in like nasal. Uh, but no, I woke up. You know, I slept good last night. I could breathe, and and I think it's pretty much like completely gone. The whole feeling bad. Janet, just starting your day. Naomi, as all of that you remember little stuff about people. Fun fact about me, I got a fresh spine first wait fresh spine tat from 3 months ago. So you got a tattoo on your spine, or a tattoo of a spine. uh, you got a tattoo on your spine, like that seems like that would be pretty painful, you know, on the bone. Janet said, good, did you get moringa? Drink every other day, stay healthy. Naomi said, yep, it's a sword. Well, you're a tough girl, Naomi. Uh, like I'm a big weenie when it comes to pain. Although, like I've never like been in really too much pain anytime I've getting my tattoos. Of course, they didn't really take a long time. Like my fleur de lis up here, uh, there was like a little pain when there, like the point of the fleur de lis is like right on. Uh, I don't know what bone that is, your shoulder bone, but when they were, you know, right there on that bone, that was probably the most pain that I felt getting tattooed. So I couldn't imagine like having, you know, tattoos along your spine where, you know, they're constantly going to be on a bone. That would be terrible. Martin said, when people ask me where I got my tattoos, I just look at them real serious and say prison. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get my first tattoo until I was probably almost 40. whenever I got this fleur de lis, and I got this in Memphis, Tennessee, and originally it was terrible. It was like it wasn't symmetrical, and then so I had it fixed in Canada, in Alberta, Canada. I was working up there doing air conditioning, and I happened to be working on air conditioning at a tattoo shop, and got to talking to one of the guys, and basically we made a deal, and he fixed it for me. And then when I was in Shreveport, Louisiana, I got, and it's let's see, hold on, let's see. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you probably can't really see it, but um, like around the fleur de lis, it's got like a little bit of yellow to kind of make it pop. Like you can tell when you're looking at it. So it's got like yellow that kind of makes it pop, stand out. And so this tattoo I got in 3 different places. Uh, and then I got my initials in Shreveport after uh, my son passed. And then this, my tattoo on my leg is my niece was, learning how to tattoo. She had a tattoo gun and she was practicing on different stuff and giving, and she convinced me to let her try to do this tattoo on me. And it didn't come out perfect, but it's, it's my niece. So hopefully, she learned something from the experience. Janet said, the spine is not a place to ever mess with. It is a central muscular system. It's not suggested. I hear you, Janet. Janet laughing at Martin. I don't know why, because she said LOL vanilla, so it took me a second to convert it in my brain. Janet asked Ray, when's your birthday? My birthday is February 25th. That is my birthday. So just a little bit past Valentine's Day. Naomi, tons of tattoo peaks today. I see. Do it again, Hottie. No, Naomi. Naomi thinks this is her personal OnlyFans page. Martin said, I have a really cool St. Michael tattoo from my shoulder to my elbow. Yeah, I bet that is pretty cool. Grandson is February 24th. Okay. Yeah, Martin, that's I like tattoos, and I've always had ideas of, like I don't know, I love the art of tattoo. But like for me, like it has to be something like that I, you know, take really, really personally to have a tattoo. That's just so, it's like fleur de lis, son's initials, and then, my commitment to the Philippines. That's, Louisiana, Philippines, and my son. And that's, I guess I haven't figured out some other image that, kind of defines me to add to that short list. But yeah, those are my only tattoos: the initials, my fleur de lis, and my Filipino son. Let's see, we got Naomi birthday past Valentine's Day. Not so surprised. You're so hot. It fits. Haha. Janet said, anniversary was very nice. My hubby gave me a beautiful card, said I helped give his life purpose. High honor when a man admits that. LOL. Zowie. That is awesome, Janet. and yeah, no, I mean, men can definitely be uh, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, stingy with, you know, uh, like emotional uh, exposure. And so uh, there's nothing really wrong with that, because it makes it that much more powerful uh, when they actually do it. You know, you know, if you're with a man that is you know saying I love you every day, but you're not feeling it, I would rather have the man that you know uh, that loves you and like does the things that he knows that he's supposed to do, and be supportive of you and respectful of you. And then when he does say I love you, then it's a more powerful moment than just the casual throwaway. Like uh, people say a lot of things and they lose meaning because they're just said too often, like, or said for you know not enough of a reason, if that makes sense. uh, Janet said it's better to just understand how people are than to fit people in personal niches, nooks and crannies. uh, I just work to understand. I'm very independent. My husband grants me that. I hear you, Janet. And that's good. I mean, every couple should develop their system of the ebb and flow of when to give space and when to be there. um, because I believe everybody needs space. Like everybody needs time to just be themselves, like just live uh, live with just themselves and have no other thoughts about you know uh, someone else. And uh, and then come back refreshed and able to focus on another person. Martin said, my wife always tells me how lucky I am. How lucky I am. I keep telling her I can't be hypnotized. You're so lucky. You're so lucky, Martin. So lucky. I hear you. That's funny. Yeah, but yeah, it's and it sounds like that you two have like that joking type relationship that I really enjoy. Um, like uh, I remember, in my first marriage, my wife was being grumpy about something. I don't know what it was. I didn't do nothing, but she was in the bathroom doing something like makeup or whatever. And I went in the bathroom and I started opening drawers and the cabinet and looking around, and just kept doing that until she finally said, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "I'm looking for your sense of humor. You had one when we got married." And without missing a beat, she said, she said, "It's wherever your hair went." and because I've been starting to go bald, I had a receding hairline, in my 30s. So she gave it right back to me, and like I appreciate that. Like that, to me, that's a good relationship where you can, you know, make jokes about each other, and no one gets serious about it. It's just, you know, it's just something that you share. Martin, I'm crying. Made my day great when trophy. Yeah, yeah. No, that was really funny. And like I said, it sounds like you guys have a good relationship where you can joke with each other like that. Yeah, sense of humor is a must. Never lose your sense of humor. Quote from John Belushi. Martin says, when I'm teasing her, she'll ask me, "Oh, so you want my attention? Are you sure?" Yeah, that's like I said, that's the type of relationship I like when you know you can just joke around with each other and all the serious conversations have been had, and you can say anything you want after that because there's an understanding of you know the definition of your relationship and the parameters in which you operate. And I know you told me already, Martin. How long? I know that you're okay. You're in Guam. You're married to a Filipina. And how long have you guys been married? I know you told me. Was it like 20 something years? Anyway, I'm gonna go put this in here in the sink, and I guess I should go ahead and close this window. It was a little bit windy, and I'm afraid that window is going to start rattling more. Uh, and I guess I'll go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do something because it's 70. Hey, I'm going to turn the AC on for a little while. Let it. Oh, stop following me. Let the room cool down. I hardly ever turn the AC on. What are you doing? My little robot dude, why are you freaking out? What is going on with you? Let's see if that helps. I don't know what was going on with my little robot buddy. He was he was wiggling around doing circles and stuff. Naomi, did you hack my robot? uh, Martin said 20 years, yeah. And gentlemen don't buy into the illusion that Filipinas are submissive either. That's only till you get married, then forget about it. Haha. That's good, Martin. Janet's been married 40 years. Yeah, I mean, like, submissive, like people get the wrong idea about, being submissive. And it's not like, taking orders. That's uh nor should it be. Uh like there's that saying, um the man is the king of the castle. Well, that's absolutely true. But here's the thing. Most men think about that phrase as in, I'm the king of the castle, I'm the boss. Like if you're the if you're the king of the castle, that doesn't mean everybody else in the castle is your servant. If you are treating your wife like a queen, she won't have any problem with you being the king. You treat your children like princes and princesses. And if there's any servant in the castle, it's you. Like you, as the king, are serving your kingdom, doing whatever is best to, you know, have that kingdom flourish. Like, so anyway, I went on a little rant there, but uh, I think pretty whether it's Filipina or any other woman, like if uh, if you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man, then they'll be submissive. If you're doing the right thing, then you may have to listen to some complaining every once in a while, if but at the end of the day, it's like uh, you doing what you can, and uh, a woman respects that. If she doesn't, you got the wrong woman. So let's see. Naomi said, I may have hacked that robot with that nice little angle I got back then while doing that wiggly thing. Okay. 40 years. OMG. Congrats. Yeah, congrats, Janet. Submissive in positive light is a freedom, not a dominance. Oh, okay. I think we're agreeing there. Martin said, she'll change her attitude when the zombies come. You mean she won't protect you from the zombies? Martin, you gotta be the zombie dispatcher. I'm submissive totally. When I win a jackpot, I openly collect that money. Type man, what do you prefer? Janet, Vanilla Gorilla is Martin. Martin says, I'll answer to anything. Don't be concerned about it. Yeah. Naomi, howdy, little baby. The way you close to that window is my highlight of the live lately. Yeah, you always like when I close the window for some reason. Martin says, I've watched every episode of The Walking Dead a dozen times, so I consider myself highly trained. Yeah, no, I liked The Walking Dead right up until like um, the Negan season where at first there was like the Glenn death fake out where he fell off the dumpster, and the season ended or whatever on the cliffhanger or whatever, and then the next season, of course it was all a fake out that he was actually alive, and then the cliffhanger um with who Negan kills, or hits with the baseball bat, and it like when they started doing stuff like that, just putting these cliffhangers and stuff to try and keep people interested. To me, that was the beginning of the end. Like the show was good enough without having to, have these little tricks or whatever. And I haven't really watched. I guess because of that, it wasn't too long after that. Like I stopped watching. Uh, I watched the next season, and I just kept losing more and more interest. The storyline just wasn't as interesting. Martin said, "Yeah, it was pretty much the same show every episode after a while. Yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know, wasn't compelling anymore." Um, Naomi said, "You should watch Miller's Girl. If you haven't, halfway through, you'd have that little realization of why I was the one to recommend it. Haha." Okay, Miller's Girl. I'll try and remember that Naomi. I'll look it up. I've got to look up some Korean show called Demon Hunter and a show called Miller's Girl. Those two shows have been suggested to me in this live stream. I still have a sticker on my truck. If Daryl dies, we riot. Yeah, I mean, Daryl became like everybody. I mean, Daryl became the star of the show. Uh, you know, uh, and Rick kind of, I don't know. Anyway, I was a big Walking Dead fan. I love that show, but like I said, it lost something. Probably season 4 or 5, whatever it was, that it just started. I don't know, kind of losing me. The only show that I believe was good, from start to finish, was Breaking Bad. Like Breaking Bad didn't stay too long. Like it like where it ended was at a good place. It's just, they could have did something to keep the story going because of popularity, but no, they ended it. Then they started, Better Call Saul, which became, almost as big of a hit as Breaking Bad. So, uh, I think that would be the right way to handle it. I know that, Walking Dead did that, but Walking Dead did that while the show was still on. They came out with Fear the Walking Dead, and now they've got, I don't know how many spin-offs of the show. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it because, like I said, I lost faith in that franchise to entertain me. Naomi, unrelated, but having Route 66 as a sticker on a pickup truck is my favorite thing. LOL. Okay. And Route 66 runs, like I've been on Route 66, but it runs like through to the West Coast. Uh, and let's see, Martin said, nothing beats the original Dawn of the Dead, though. Oh, yeah. Well, the original would be, what was it, Night of the Living Dead, where they get trapped in the basement. Is like black. It was black and white, wasn't it? I don't remember. But yeah, it was Night of the Living Dead with George Romero. I think that was his first movie. And then I believe Dawn of the Dead was, wasn't it set like in the 80s in like a mall or something like that? But yeah, it was, and there was like quite a few years between those two movies. Naomi, I got a class in half an hour after I finish my popsicle. LOL. Well, I hope that you focus in class and you know uh, put all of your effort into it. Like that's your future. Like always, is every time you go to class, Naomi, I want you to say to you in your head over and over again, "This is my future. This is my future," and take it with that amount of seriousness and gravity. Like, yes, 1968, black and white. Yes, Dawn was in a mall. Okay, yeah, I thought I'm not. I always say I am a deep well of useless knowledge. Like if it has to do with pop culture or random music, yeah, I just know. Don't know why. Like there's probably a lot of information that would help me more in life, but that's I guess that's not what I was designed for. I was designed to be able to, answer random trivia questions whenever they come up. That's that's what I'm here for. Uh, it's strawberry. Well, enjoy your popsicle, Naomi. Martin said, "Yep, that's it. They've remade it a couple times, but those sequels blow." Yeah, I mean, that has to do. That's pretty much with anything. There are very few occasions when you know you have like sequels to a movie that are better than the original, or and like over time they just get worse. Um, and and it's kind of the same I was saying with the whole Walking Dead thing. It's like, once you've completely explored a concept, you know, as novel as that concept is, like once you like pull every bit of interest about that topic, then there's no reason to do more. And so both classics, Freddy Krueger was iffy to me. Triplets is back. Hey, Triplets. Uh, you were correct on both. I'm in entertainment, so various aspects: music, concerts, celebrities, movies, etc. Knowledge never useless, right? Makes for good conversation. Yeah, and I guess that's that's why I have it all, is you know so I can more easily interact with people, like common connections, whether it's movie or music or whatever, to be able to make at least an initial connection with someone. And yeah, that's a good point, Janet. That might be why I developed that, because you know uh, I had to develop the skill of meeting people and meeting new people and everything, from moving around a lot as a kid, and not what is that dinging? I don't know what that dinging is, but um, moving around a lot as a kid, not able to make friends because I was always the new kid, and I know it's hard to believe, but I wasn't popular in school. Like I was, you know, I was I was always on the outside, and you know, because of that, it drove me to develop my social skills, so that later in life, it's always really easy for me to make friends, uh, because you know uh, a tragic youth pretty much forced me to develop those skills, to you know uh, not live my whole life, you know, being alone, reading a book, and not interacting with people, because that's not what I wanted for my life. Anyway, little self exposition there. Janet says, "What gets me Hollywood? Running out scripts, drawing from old movies, and most remakes." Yeah, they do that a lot, Janet. You think you are rambling. What's actually happening is your mind is working in multiple areas. Click, click, click. It's multitasking. Okay. Naomi said, "Can't believe you weren't a popular little hottie back then, too. Good thing now you are." And to me, LOL. Yeah, I know Naomi a lot. And, people, once they get to know me, and like I tell them, it's like, I just, like it was more than just unpopular. Like there was, I remember when we lived in Connecticut, uh, there was a kid, and I would have called him like my best friend at that time. when we lived in Connecticut. His name was Todd, and his dad was in the Navy, and my dad was in the Navy, and we lived in. It was like this. It was actually like a circle of houses, and we were in the same grade, and we would play together, with Star Wars figures or cars or whatever it was, and then when we'd be going to school, wait at the bus stop, and it was kind of like an well, anyway, we didn't sit together on the bus. We didn't interact with each other at school. Like he didn't want to be associated with me at school. It was okay to play with me when no one else was around, but so that's like how my childhood was. I spent a lot of time reading. Uh, like I read a lot of books whenever I was a kid, and Janet said, high popularity is exhausting. No, thank you. I'd rather have my me time. What's your take on this subject? Uh, well, yeah. I mean, you can say that now, Janet. But like when you were a girl, uh, I I I don't think that you wanted your me time. Uh, like when you're a kid, you haven't had time to like get tired of people. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe as you grow up to become an adult, like you may get to a point sometimes it's like I'm tired of interacting with people. Like people always want something, or like it's just a lot of energy, and like I just want time to myself. Like I get that. But when you're a kid, like, you know, um, having people your own age that understand what you're going through, like growing up and I don't know, learning how to be a person still. I mean, until you get a lot older, I mean, you're constantly learning, what it's like just to be a human living on Earth, and like nobody understands, what you're going through at the time except people that are going through it with you. And if you're isolated, then you really don't have those people going through it with you. Uh, you're just kind of on your own, and that sucks as a kid. Anyway, uh, Ray, I'm still a girl. I was tomboy. I excelled in sports and competition. That's awesome, Jan. I didn't see you were on a team. I did not want to go to proms. My mom made me. I did it for her. I enjoyed the art of competing. This gave me time, study health, the body science, etc. Okay, well, um, that's awesome. Like it sounds like you pretty much kind of had the type of up or school life that you wanted. You enjoyed competing in sports um, and enjoyed your you know alone time. I didn't. I really didn't. I mean, and it didn't help, especially whenever I came back to the U.S. Like when I was 12 and 13, I lived in Italy, like I said, and I was going to a Department of Defense school, and it was a pretty good school. And then I came back to rural Louisiana, and um, I don't know how else to say it other than like I was smarter than everybody in my class, and that you know that's not a good look for anybody. Going into high school and being the smartest kid in school, um, and it wasn't my fault. I had more chances for experience than they did because they lived in rural Louisiana, and it was actually like when I went to high school, it was footloose. Like I was Kevin Bacon. Um, I did not have a senior prom. We had a senior banquet because there was no dancing allowed, uh, no school function dance. It's not allowed where I went to school. So, and then, like I said, I showed up the first day of school. It was in, you know, probably like '84, and I was wearing I remember it was like I had a tan like kind of a wool skinny tie. I don't know if you remember that fashion back then with like a button up white shirt and some kind of khaki loose pants like that. Um, I mean, you lived in the '80s, you know what I'm talking about. And I get to school and there's guys wearing bib overalls and with their overalls tucked in their Roper cowboy boots, and I stuck out. Like it was bad enough moving around different places and not fitting in, but then you know coming coming from kind of a more worldly upbringing to down south rural Louisiana, uh, it was an adjustment. So let's see. Jazz on all kinds of sports. My perception of you is that you are a interesting conversationalist. My grandson's birthday one day before yours. He is a straight A student. That is awesome, Janet. That's awesome. Naomi, I went to a private Catholic school. We had that annoying little no phones rule. LOL. Yeah, well, whenever I was in high school, Naomi, I don't even think they didn't really have cell phones. We didn't, nobody had a cell phone. We had beepers. I didn't have a beeper, and most people in my school, because it was rural, we didn't, but like kids having cell phones wasn't a thing back then. Uh, Martin said graduated in '83. So yeah, I was, I mean, you're old, 4 years older than me. So I was just starting high school when you graduated. Yes, I did. I do love the skinny tie. It was cool with jacket and jeans and gym shoes. I graduated high school in '73. And Naomi said, "What's a beeper?" It's a it was the slang term for a pager. A pager. It was it was like a little uh, square thing that you people would clip like on their belt, and if someone could call their pager number and on the actual telephone that had a cord connected to it, they could push numbers to. Eventually, it became where you could do like a code for like a very short message. Like there wasn't any long text messages, but you could either leave a callback number where okay, so you would call and leave your message, and the person would it would beep. That's why they call it a beeper. But the pager would beep, let them know that someone tried to call them. And then whenever they were close to a phone, then they would call that number back to talk to the person. So, because there was no cell phones, there wasn't any, you call somebody and they just pick up their phone. Uh, you had to call and then get called back. Anyway, Martin said, remember the beepers you would call and say your message that would go through the pager? We used to say some really obnoxious things over those. No, I don't think, because I wasn't, I didn't really ever have a pager. I wasn't that cool. And then even when I was older, like I was, like people had, a lot of people had started to get cell phones. It was in the 90s when I was, after I got out, I didn't have a cell phone any of the time I was in the Navy. And, I got out of the Navy, started going to work, uh, and it was a while before I actually got a cell phone, a flip phone. And, because I didn't see the need of it. I was like, if I, it's like, if someone needed to get in touch with me, like they, call me when I'm at home. I don't know. But now I'm, like everybody else, always on my phone. Yes, those Motorola's were TikTok horrible. Alice says, what time is it there? 7-Eleven. Yeah, it is. It is 7-Eleven. Yes. Oh, thanks. Yeah. And how long have I been on here? I've been on here for over an hour and a half. I'm probably getting close to calling it. Ray heard from Gina. She's at home and resting. Thank God. Yeah, I saw Gina on the live chat yesterday, and she said that she was doing much better. I still don't think I got like the complete rundown of what was actually going on with her. Martin said, I actually had one of those big brick size cell phones. I thought I was so badass. Yeah, I like the ones that have like on the movie Wall Street where it's like that big, and then like those cell phones that were they started out like that fit big, or like a bag phone, or your car phone. They were all like really big, and then it went through this stage of trying to get cell phones smaller and smaller until they were like little things like this that you flipped open, and like they didn't even go from your ear to your mouth, and you and then now it's went the whole other way, as like phones are trying to get bigger and bigger until you're carrying like a whole tablet as a phone. So eventually people will figure it out, what it is they want in a phone. Now phones aren't used for phones anyway. Mercedes said, you're early today. I'm early. I've been on here for over an hour and a half. You're late. I was just about ready to call it. Mercedes. Alice said, yes. Nice. You like it? Currently at Cebu right now. Oh, okay. I missed that part. Alice said you're in Cebu right now. Cool. What are you doing in Cebu? You working, Alice? Martin said like $4 a minute or something like that. Yeah, I mean, cell phones were kind of outrageous at that time, and yeah, it was more about like the whole calling thing. Like when cell phones first came out, like data wasn't really a thing. Like I remember, because I was on for a long, long time. I was on this unlimited data plan from AT&T, and once smartphones came out, and then data was actually a thing. They were trying to put that into effect with the choking and all that because, uh, like, you know, I had like truly unlimited data because that's how the plan was, and I used to argue with them all the time. They kept trying to get me to switch to another plan, but I'm like, no. I said, I like this grandfather plan of unlimited data for cheap. Alice said, "Are you tired yet? It's been an hour or something." Yeah, yeah, Alice. It's been an hour and that uh almost an hour 45 minutes. Mercedes said, "You still in the guy got tied?" Yeah, yep, still here. No plans on leaving. Alice said you should rest. Well, I don't know about rest. I'm not about to go to bed. It's only, I mean, come on, Alice. I'm old, but I'm not going to bed at 7 o'clock old yet. Like I'll, I'll find something else to do, but I mean, you can only have a conversation for so long before it's like you kind of run out of stuff to say, and it's like it's not the last time I'm gonna see you guys, talk to you guys, so you know we can talk about more on the next time I'm on a live stream. Or also, you guys, if you didn't do it yesterday, the ones that were here yesterday, go find my Facebook and send me a friend request, same as my channel, Ray in the Philippines on Facebook, and send me a friend request, and you know uh, and make sure you like video before I leave. Get a few more of those in there. Janet said, "Ray, keep building your site and those shorts. You're gonna do well." I appreciate that, Jen. I really do. I really do need to do my next like actual produced video. Been working on it for the whole time I was sick, on and off, and uh, I don't know. It's just because I want to get better with each video that I do, but um, and there's some pressure in that because it's like uh, I'm holding my standards like really high, and it's almost discouraging me, like making me procrastinate. I don't know. It's Naomi said, "Oh, are you leaving already? Get sleep, cutie little baby." Well, thank you, Naomi. But like I told Alice, like I'm not going to bed at 7 o'clock old yet. Martin said, "I'd need to clean up my Facebook, some dark stuff on there." Well, yeah, and you know, uh, I got my regular, Facebook that would be kind of boring to any of you guys. It's just friends and family, and not that you're not friends, but you know, uh, it's separate from my channel Facebook, and my channel Facebook, like anybody can join, and you know, I'll talk to them. I may not be, available uh 24/7, but I've talked to many people on, my messenger or whatever directly. Uh, just whenever I have time, like I'm gonna give people time, like I said, that give me time. But all that said, uh, on that Facebook, I don't have to clean anything up. It's just, you know, people I know and people I follow. as far as YouTube goes. You could have guests on various topics and conversations. Yeah, absolutely. That's coming, Janet. Especially within about a month, whenever like I do my travel trip and go uh, see James and Karen and Mike and Rojas and go to Bacalid and see uh, Michael there and just a lot of different people that I'm going to go see and we'll do collaborations and so. Martin said, "Well, my last post was 2018 or so." I hear you. Well, I, I was never like, I'm still not really the type to post on Facebook. Like, you have to have it over here. Like everything runs on Facebook over here. There's no, you know, businesses don't have like a website. They have a site on Facebook. Have a Facebook page. So if you want to find out information about a business, you got to go on Facebook. If you want to find out about, you know, uh, apartments that are listed, you go on Facebook. If you want to talk to somebody, you're talking to them on Messenger. It's just the way it is. But anyway, back to my point, like I never really posted on Facebook very often. Like, and I always felt like, um, you know, Facebook was like reverse stalking. It's like, stalkers, they're like trying to find out every little bit of information about you. People that post on Facebook, they just put it all out there in your face, whether you want to see it or not. Is like, here's everything about me. So it's kind of reverse stalking. It's like, hey, I'm eating at McDonald's right now at this very moment. Like, I don't need to know that. You know what I mean? But there are people that are like that on Facebook. That it's like they're posting like everywhere they are, everything they're doing, every moment of the day, and that's a little much. Uh, let's see. Ask Isaac for my WhatsApp. I have suggestions for you. May help you grow rapidly. Thanks, Janet. Isaac creates my connections. Gotcha. Alice, you should eat. You might be hungry, dude. Well, I walked today, and I normally try and walk some, be more healthy and all that, but I kind of canceled it out today because I walked to McDo, and had like a Big Mac and fries and a Coke. So I had that earlier, and so I'm still full from having McDonald's. Uh, Any great. Me and you enjoy your comments. God bless. Made my day. Janet said, yes, I'm aware of all of them. Mike's show is very good. The Beaver guy is very honest. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Got to run. God bless us all. Got to go. Have a nice day. All right, Alice, uh, Janet, you guys have a great day. I was trying to wrap it up anyway. This is as good a place as any. Anybody that's still watching, I appreciate y'all. Um, you know, you're the best. I enjoy talking to y'all every time I have a live stream, and I hope to see y'all on the next one. But until then, who dat? Love you all.